Welcome to a revelation that might challenge everything you thought you knew about living a long and vibrant life. While we've all heard traditional wisdom about longevity, eat your vegetables, exercise regularly, avoid smoking, scientific research has uncovered some truly surprising predictors of who will thrive well into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. These 7 unusual signs are backed by rigorous research from institutions like Harvard, the National Institute on Aging, and leading longevity research centers worldwide. What's most remarkable about these findings isn't just their unusual nature, but how they suggest something profound. Your daily habits and quirky behaviors may actually override your genetic programming when it comes to determining lifespan. While genetics account for approximately 25% of longevity factors, as shown in fascinating studies of identical twins who lived drastically different lifespans, the remaining 75% falls within your control through lifestyle choices and habits. Consider this. Researchers from the landmark Harvard study of adult development, which has tracked participants for over 80 years, have concluded that many conventional medical measurements fail to capture the subtle indicators that truly predict longevity. Blood pressure readings and cholesterol levels matter certainly, but they tell only part of the story. The science of longevity has evolved dramatically in recent years. Researchers studying the famed blue zones, regions with extraordinarily high concentrations of centenarians, have discovered that beyond diet and exercise, these long-lived individuals share certain behavioral and physical traits that conventional medicine rarely measures or discusses. These traits transcend cultural boundaries, appearing in Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and Loma Linda, California alike. What makes these indicators particularly valuable is their accessibility. Unlike expensive genetic tests or complex medical procedures, these signs can be observed and often improved upon regardless of your current age, health status, or previous lifestyle choices. They represent windows into your body's functional age, which can differ significantly from your chronological age. By the end of this exploration, you'll have a practical framework to evaluate your own longevity potential using markers that most doctors never mention during routine checkups. More importantly, you'll discover evidence-based strategies to improve these markers, potentially adding not just more years to your life, but more life to your years. Let's move beyond conventional wisdom and explore the first category of these, scientifically validated but surprisingly overlooked indicators, physical signs that reveal your body's true biological age and longevity potential. It might sound peculiar, but the strength of your handshake contains remarkable predictive power for your longevity prospects. The prospective Urban-Rural Epidemiology (PURE) study, which followed over 140,000 adults across 17 countries, revealed something extraordinary. Grip strength outperformed blood pressure and physical activity as a predictor of cardiovascular mortality and overall survival. The numbers are striking. Each 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength correlates with a 16% increased risk of all-cause mortality. Put simply, your hands are telling a story about your whole body's vitality. This isn't merely about muscle power. In isolation, grip strength serves as a window into your overall muscular function, metabolic health, and nervous system integrity. Why does this measure matter so much? Grip strength represents what gerontologists call functional reserve, your body's excess capacity beyond what's needed for basic daily activities. As we age, maintaining this reserve becomes increasingly crucial for independence and resilience against health challenges. The biological mechanism is fascinating. Grip strength reflects the overall integrity of your neuromuscular system. Strong hands indicate efficient nerve signaling, robust muscle fiber recruitment, and adequate protein synthesis, all fundamental processes that deteriorate in accelerated aging. If grip strength offers a window into your neuromuscular health, the Sit-to-Stand test provides insight into your full-body functional integration. Developed by Brazilian physician Dr. Claudio Gil Araujo and validated in numerous follow-up studies, this deceptively simple assessment has demonstrated remarkable predictive power for longevity. The test evaluates multiple physiological systems simultaneously: lower body strength, balance, coordination, and flexibility. Each component represents a critical element of functional independence as we age. What makes this test particularly valuable is its holistic nature. It doesn't isolate a single system, but instead evaluates how effectively your body's various components work together. Research published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology showed that adults who scored poorly on this test had a 5 to 6 times higher risk of mortality compared to those who performed well. Even more compelling, improvements in performance over time were associated with significant reductions in mortality risk, suggesting that this marker is not fixed but responsive to lifestyle interventions. The power of this test lies in its comprehensive assessment of functional fitness. While many older adults might maintain adequate strength in isolated movements, the Sight to Stand test reveals how effectively they can coordinate multiple muscle groups, maintain balance, and exert force through a complete range of motion, all critical capabilities for preventing falls and maintaining independence. Perhaps the most surprising longevity predictor is one we perform daily without consideration: our walking pace. Researchers at multiple institutions have demonstrated that walking speed serves as a remarkably accurate vital sign for overall health and longevity prospects. A landmark analysis published in the Journal of the American Medical Association examined data from over 34,000 older adults and found something remarkable. Walking speed alone could predict survival rates with accuracy comparable to complex medical assessments combining multiple health factors. Adults who walked just 1 meter per second faster than their peers showed significantly improved survival rates. Walking speed matters because it integrates multiple physiological systems: cardiovascular efficiency, muscle function, nervous system coordination, and even cognitive processing. Your natural walking pace reflects not just physical capabilities, but also brain health and cognitive function, a connection that helps explain why changes in gait often precede cognitive decline by years. The physical markers we've explored offer powerful insights into longevity potential, but research now reveals that our social behaviors and daily habits hold equally transformative power over our lifespan. As we continue our exploration of scientifically backed longevity indicators, we discover that some of the most impactful factors are hidden in plain sight within our relationships and routines. Harvard's groundbreaking 80-year study on adult development reached a remarkable conclusion. The quality of our relationships predicts our health and happiness more accurately than wealth, fame, or even genetics. This finding is further supported by Brigham Young University research, demonstrating that isolation and loneliness increase mortality risk by a staggering 29%, equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. The physiological mechanism behind this phenomenon is fascinating. Quality social connections directly impact your neuroendocrine system, reducing chronic stress and lowering inflammatory markers like interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein. Your immune system functions more efficiently when you maintain meaningful relationships, with studies showing up to 60% stronger immune responses in socially connected individuals. What's particularly encouraging is that relationship depth matters more than quantity. Research from the University of Chicago found that having just 3 to 5 close, reliable connections provides the optimal protective effect against age-related decline. These relationships act as emotional buffers during life's challenges, while simultaneously stimulating cognitive function through varied social interaction. Communities globally that have embraced this wisdom show remarkable results. In Sardinia, Italy, and Okinawa, Japan, both renowned longevity hotspots, elders remain deeply integrated in multi-generational social networks that provide purpose, support, and belonging. Their social infrastructures create natural opportunities for meaningful connection throughout life. Perhaps one of the most unexpected longevity predictors emerges from your dental health. Groundbreaking research from the University of California found the mechanism centers on inflammation. Periodontal disease creates persistent low-grade inflammation as bacteria from oral infections enter the bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammatory responses. This inflammation accelerates arterial plaque formation, damages tissue throughout the body, and has been linked to increased risk of Alzheimer's disease through specific neural pathways. What makes dental health particularly valuable as a longevity marker is its bidirectional relationship with overall health. Your mouth effectively serves as an early warning system and intervention point. Studies from the Mayo Clinic demonstrate that addressing periodontal disease not only improves oral health, but can reduce biomarkers of systemic inflammation by up to 40% within 6 months. Modern periodontology now recognizes over 50 systemic conditions that manifest early signs in oral tissues, making your dentist a crucial partner in longevity. Regular professional evaluations can identify subtle changes indicating developing health issues before they become symptomatic elsewhere in the body. As we transition from external behaviors to more fundamental aspects of longevity, we discover that our mental patterns and daily rhythms might be the most powerful determinants of how well and how long we live. The next 2 indicators reveal how our thoughts and timing create biological realities that either accelerate or decelerate aging at the cellular level. The Harvard study of adult development, spanning nearly 8 decades, revealed something remarkable. Participants who demonstrated high levels of optimism at age 50 lived, on average, 7 to 10 years longer than their pessimistic counterparts. This finding persisted even after controlling for health behaviors, socioeconomic status, and other variables. The biological pathways connecting optimism to longevity have been intensively studied. Optimistic individuals maintain longer telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that shield genetic material during cell division. Each time a cell divides, telomeres naturally shorten, eventually leading to cellular senescence when critically abbreviated. Research from the University of California, San Francisco found that optimistic individuals had significantly slower telomere degradation, essentially slowing cellular aging. Additionally, optimism directly affects your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, reducing chronic cortisol elevation that damages tissues throughout the body. Studies measuring heart rate variability, a key indicator of autonomic nervous system function, show that optimistic thought patterns increase parasympathetic activation, enhancing recovery and repair processes. Critically, scientific evidence distinguishes genuine optimism from toxic positivity or denial. True optimism involves realistic assessment of challenges, coupled with confidence in one's ability to overcome them. This cognitive flexibility allows for appropriate stress responses when needed, while maintaining resilience against chronic stress states that accelerate aging. Our final longevity marker moves beyond what we eat to when we eat. Emerging chronobiology research has identified meal timing as a powerful regulator of genetic expression related to longevity. The Salk Institute's pioneering work reveals that constraining eating periods activates longevity genes previously identified in caloric restriction studies, without requiring actual calorie reduction. The key mechanism involves autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup and recycling system. When feeding times are compressed into specific windows, autophagy accelerates during fasting periods, removing damaged cellular components and reducing the accumulated cellular waste associated with age-related diseases. Studies measuring autophagy markers show up to 300% increases during fasting periods of 12+ hours. For individuals over 70, research indicates an optimal feeding window of 8 to 10 hours, typically beginning earlier in the day to align with natural circadian rhythms. This timing optimization enhances glucose metabolism, reduces nighttime digestive burden, improves sleep quality, and strengthens circadian entrainment, all factors independently associated with increased longevity. The metabolic benefits are particularly significant. Late-night eating disrupts growth hormone secretion, and having explored 7 scientifically validated markers of exceptional longevity, we now face the essential question: how do we transform this knowledge into a practical framework for living longer and better? The true power of these insights emerges when they're woven together into a comprehensive approach that honors your unique circumstances and aspirations. The journey toward exceptional longevity begins with honest self-assessment. Research from Stanford's Center on Longevity demonstrates that personalized approaches yield significantly better outcomes than one-size-fits-all prescriptions. Take time to evaluate where you currently stand with each of our 7 markers: grip strength, sit-to-rise ability, walking speed, social connections, dental health, optimism levels, and meal timing patterns. What makes this framework particularly effective is its emphasis on interconnection. Improvements in one area frequently catalyze progress in others. For instance, University of Michigan research found that participants who improved their walking Speed subsequently reported higher levels of social engagement and optimism within 3 months, a virtuous cycle of positive reinforcement. When considering where to begin, prioritization is key. The research offers clear guidance. Focus first on areas where you score lowest, as these represent your greatest opportunity for lifespan extension. However, balance this approach by simultaneously making small adjustments to areas where change feels most accessible. This dual strategy maintains motivation while addressing critical needs. The science of behavior change confirms that small, consistent improvements yield the most substantial long-term results. Rather than attempting dramatic transformations, aim for what Harvard behavior scientist B.J. Fogg calls tiny habits, minor adjustments that fit naturally into your existing routines. These modest changes, consistently applied, create compound benefits that significantly extend health span and lifespan. Regular reassessment keeps your longevity plan dynamic and responsive to your changing needs. Quarterly self-evaluations using objective measures for each marker ensure you're making progress or identify when adjustments are needed. This systematic approach transforms abstract longevity principles into concrete personal achievements. Beyond physical markers and daily habits lies what may be the most powerful longevity factor of all, having a clear sense of purpose. The renowned Rush Memory and Aging Project followed over 1,200 older adults for up to 10 years and made a remarkable discovery. Those with high purpose scores faced approximately 50% lower risk of mortality during the study period, regardless of age at enrollment. The neurophysiology behind this phenomenon is fascinating. Purpose activates regions in the prefrontal cortex associated with planning and goal-directed behavior, while simultaneously damping activity in the amygdala, reducing stress reactivity. This neural pattern creates what researchers call eudaimonic well-being, a state characterized by reduced inflammation, enhanced immune function, and improved cardiovascular health. The Japanese concept of ikigai, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what sustains you, offers a practical framework for discovering purpose at any age. Research from Tohoku University demonstrates that finding this sweet spot correlates with dramatic longevity benefits, particularly for individuals over 70 who maintain clear reasons to greet each new day. What's particularly encouraging is that purpose need not be grandiose. Studies from the University of California, San Diego reveal that meaning derived from everyday activities, mentoring others, creating art, volunteering, learning new skills, or simply maintaining connections with loved ones, provides the same physiological benefits as more publicly recognized achievements. The essential element is that your activities align with your core values and connect you to something larger than yourself. As we conclude our exploration of these 7 unconventional longevity markers, a remarkable pattern emerges. The most powerful predictors of long life are often hidden in plain sight, overlooked by conventional medical wisdom, but validated by rigorous scientific inquiry. These markers, grip strength, sit-to-rise ability, walking speed, social connections, dental health. From an evolutionary perspective, these markers make profound sense. Each represents an adaptive capacity that would have conferred survival advantage throughout human history. Physical capabilities ensured resource acquisition and predator evasion. Social connections facilitated resource sharing and collective problem-solving. Optimism motivated exploration and innovation despite challenges, and metabolic flexibility, reflected in our meal timing patterns, allowed adaptation to variable food availability. Modern research confirms what traditional wisdom has long suggested. Longevity isn't merely about avoiding disease, but cultivating resilience across multiple dimensions of human experience. The individuals who thrive into their 9th and 10th decades don't simply survive. They maintain an engaged relationship with life characterized by continued growth, connection, and purpose. The true wisdom of longevity isn't found in exotic supplements or cutting-edge medical interventions, though these certainly have their place. Instead, it emerges from aligning our daily choices with the fundamental biological, psychological, and social needs we've evolved with over millennia. These 7 markers provide a roadmap for that alignment, a practical guide to living not just longer, but better. As you move forward with this knowledge, consider starting with just one area this week. Perhaps schedule a weekly walk with a friend, improving both your social connections and walking speed simultaneously. Or establish a consistent mealtime pattern that honors your body's natural rhythms. Remember that exceptional longevity isn't achieved through dramatic interventions, but through consistent, informed choices that accumulate power over time. The most profound insight may be this: the choices that extend life also tend to enrich it, creating not just more years of life, but more life in your years. This is the ultimate wisdom of longevity, that the path to living longer is inseparable from the path to living well.